What is Tumblr art? Was going to be the name of this video, but doing so would have actually dated this a few decades, maybe a decade or. But I think it's very important that I still kept the message of what I was going to talk about, and that is why is Tumblr art shunned? But I'm going to go into a little bit of more details of other forms of art, and I'm gonna lump them in together. Um, so let's talk about these 2010s era of art, and so let's talk about Tumblr art in specific. So this form of art was everywhere, and it contained let's put in the TikTok, the Instagram, the Cal art style. These all had like almost the same faces. Some of them were more cartoons. Some of them were just um, uh, like anime vibes, and they used heavy pastels and dreamy gradients. You can look at some of the lo-fi hip hop ones to see where this is going, and like jazzy playlists, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of it was posted on Tumblr, some of it was posted in DeviantArt, but no matter where it was posted, you were going to see it because it was everywhere. So whenever we talk about art getting shunned, you'll see that it's not just one form of art or another. Sure, Tumblr uh, and TikTok and Instagram, their art forms got their time in front of the barrel, but we'll talk about some traditional and physical trends that are also shunned. So let's talk about pour painting, and this refers to also acrylic pouring. So people love the celebration of colors of pour painting, and we can throw in resin art with that, or string art, nail art, which all have this almost abstract like um, following subject matter, um, but it's viewed as low effort. The social medias where these became famous are YouTube, Etsy, craft fairs, um, because a lot of Pinterest, a lot of these art forms were ones that people felt was low effort, was more craft than art. Um, I I can actually see, I like to see the positives in these. And one of them is the process of pour painting, resin art, and string art, nail art, and even diamond painting. It's more than a hobby for sure. Um, some of these people really dislike, again, because of the view of low effort. Um, Especially for resin art and epoxy resin. More like I said, some people see it more as a craft, and you're going for the money when you're only making coasters, tables, and keychains. Um these were all trendy, and they got shunned for a while there. Um, some of these people see it as like a fad that might be dated now, but definitely you still see it, especially with pour painting and acrylic painting. Um, it's really hard to, for me, I can't ever call a pour painting done because I'm never in that world. I'm never doing that process long enough where I'm like, this is done. Um, with resin art and epoxy coatings, this stuff, I'm only familiar with it in the terms of jewelry craft, as it will. To go further back, there's digital and illustration trends. So there's overly polished digital portraits. Um, some call this hyper smooth Instagram style, airbrushed, shiny highlights. Then there's low poly, vaporwave, glitch aesthetic, which is the opposite way, super trendy around the mid, just from the 2010s to 2020s. Just that hole in between. I don't think we see it now. But people love that vaporwave uh, aesthetic. Sold a lot of good T-shirts off of that. A generated here we go. AI generated art styles, which is now becoming the topic of debate. Um, what is it even making art if you're prompting? So let's talk about the first one and then to the other extreme. Um, First is the overly polished digital paintings or digital portraits or digital art even. A lot of people felt that it was just photography or because you're using digital craft, it's not the same as real fine arts, which we learned was totally different than what a lot of people were leading on to believe. Digital art is its own encompassing form of art. You're not it's true, you're not going to find the same thing in fine arts because it's its own thing. You can't shun digital artists because they have their own set of skills and tools in which they can create artwork. But still, people love to complain that they're not the same, and it was soulless. On the other side of this, we get AI generated art style in which someone just prompts. Um, we're not even going to discuss that. So then we get into what was art and what is crafting. Um, you saw how a lot of people can see a lot of stuff as craft. We're going to talk about the resin and acrylic pouring because a lot of people say this is just crafting. It's not art. Another things you can add is knitting, polymer clay jewelry, jewelry in general, and macrame, and all that stuff where someone awesome is creating something from their hands. A lot of people will see as just, oh, that's not real artwork. That's just you crafting something. That's just you. Um, it's not a real. It's not art. But you, with everything, you're just gonna have naysayers. You're just gonna have people that are saying, "Oh, it's oversaturated and you don't do it." But if it is a fad and you notice it, I would jump on that wagon because people were smart back in the day and did it. And I had a person who I respected a lot who actually dissuaded me from doing an art form that I thought was really awesome, and that was Tumblr art. And the reason why I stopped doing it was because they, again, I respected the person, and they told me, hey, this form of artwork is it's just a fad. Everyone's doing it. Why would you do what everyone's doing? And it's true to a certain degree. Like, I have to think to myself, why was I doing this art form? Um, and I think I didn't like the answer at the time, so I stopped doing it. But at the same time, uh, with anything, there is stuff to be learned from something different that you don't usually do. So, even if something is shunned, maybe there's something to be learned from it.